Hello, fellow human light beings. This is Mahadeva, the Thunder Wizard. June 1st, 2024. Starseeds go to war against Dark Force elites. Nothing can stop what is coming for the elites this year. We are coming for them. Hi, this is Mahadeva. Welcome back to the Thunder Wizard YouTube channel. And yes, indeed, this is a very powerful day. So, today, astrologically speaking, in the sidereal zodiac, Vedic astrology, Mars is entering into Airies. Now, I'm sorry if you're into Western astrology. You can be a Western astrologer as long as you use the sidereal zodiac, because the sidereal zodiac is the actual placement of the stars and the planets in the sky. The tropical zodiac is off by 24 degrees. So, very simple. Just drop that and do the sidereal, and Vedic is the sidereal, uses the sidereal zodiac. And today, in the sidereal zodiac, Mars is entering into his Multrikon sign of Aries. Multrikon means that he is his most powerful. So, that means that Mars is getting ready to take action. Now, there's a bunch of other things going on that make this the most powerful time to take your meditative intent and use it to destroy the elites. And I'm here to tell you that that can happen. It is happening. And I want to encourage you. We're doing another live guided interdimensional meditation today, and we do that at least twice a week. And the most intense things have been happening. Those of you who've done the meditations, you know what it feels like, what's happening to you when you're doing them. I know for myself, I've been doing esoteric, extremely powerful energy and meditative things for, practices for, over 30 years. And I'm here to tell you that I've felt nothing even close to the power that I feel when we do these live guided meditations. I mean, my pineal gland, is exploding, and I can feel my, my aura going out, seems like miles, But in any case, what is happening is that when we are in our astral bodies and we are out there, and I guide you to various places in the solar system where we're gaining power and we're sending power to the earth, that when we're out there, we are more powerful than anything on earth, especially when we gather and we do it together. That's why it's important that you show up to these live guided meditations as often as you can, even if you're not able to make it during the time that we're recording it. Make sure you go a few hours later or the next day and be a part of it and do it, because each one is going to be a little bit different to accomplish different things. But when we do that, things change on this planet. Reality is shifting, and we are shifting it. So it's important that you understand who you are. And what I've come to find out over this past couple of years that I've been doing this intense work and working with higher dimensional beings of light and learning the truth, not only about planet Earth, not only about this shift that we are experiencing, this solar flash event, shift to 5D, whatever word you want to use, but also the true history of our planet and the true history of human beings. What I've come to find out is that everything that we have been taught and everything that we mistakenly experience, perceive in this third dimension is completely upside down. So your experience that you are this tiny created being who has been thrown here either as a punishment or as karma or as some other, negative thing, and your job is to escape being trapped, that is not what's happening. It is your experience. So if you feel that way, that is an accurate experience. It is accurate that we are in an illusion. We are in the matrix. We are in a construct. It is true. All of that is true. But what you haven't remembered yet, which was part of the reason that this whole thing was set up and the whole dynamic behind it, what you haven't remembered is that you, outside of the third dimension, in your astral body, You are an omnipotent deity. You are as powerful as any deity that you hear, whether it's Jehovah, whether it's Zeus, whether it's Shiva, Kali, Odin, Brahma, Quetzalcoatl. It doesn't matter. You are as powerful as they are in the astral realm. You chose to come to Earth because you wanted to gain more power. In exactly the same way, when I go to the gym and I choose to lift weights that are heavy so that I will gain in strength and gain in muscle mass. It's the whole reason. You came here spiritually to gain strength, and in order to do that, you put yourself under extreme pressure and you had to fight back. And it doesn't work if there isn't a risk. And the risk is that you forget who you are, you get trapped, and you start to buy in to victim mentality, or you become attached to the third dimension, or something along those lines. That is the real risk. And many people, I know I have, we struggle with that. Some people get trapped in it. Now, I'm here to tell you that the people who are the most trapped by this illusion are, in fact, the dark force elites. And the dark force elites, not only have they completely forgotten that they were deities who chose to come to Earth, but they have pushed away and denied their spirituality, their true essence, to such a degree that, for all intents and purposes, they are evil demons. I could get into what demons really are. Demons are not fallen angels. That's another lie. Demons are emotional constructs. Whenever somebody gets extremely trapped by negativity, suicidal ideation, fear, anger, frustration, feelings of homicidal rage, lust, greed, all of these things, when these emotions become really intense, they can get squeezed out onto the third dimensional plane as a non-physical force. And these emotions, they're not like you and I, they're not actual beings. They're a created emotional force that has its own sort of AI awareness, but it's not self-sustaining. So it seeks out humans who can generate emotions, and so they generate negativity and fear and all of that, so they can feed off of it, and then they can possess somebody. So somebody can be possessed by these incredibly dark, powerful emotions. And this is what has happened to the dark force elite. This is why all the rumors you've heard about them doing all kinds of evil, dark, satanic magic, it's true. Because they need that negative energy, and that negative energy needs them. So the bad news is that if you are trapped in the third dimensional reality and you believe you are this tiny little human, they can control you. They can do all kinds of horrible things, as they are doing to many people on this planet right now. But if you awaken to your true pre-human incarnation essence, that you are a deity that is more powerful than anything created, then you can decide to change this reality. So this 5D shift that we are experiencing, I want to get rid of an illusion that you may have, which is it's something that's going to come and happen to us. That's not how it works. We bring it about. And so we are in a state in the multiverse where we have never been before. Right now, there has to be trillions. I mean, I'm coming up with a number that my brain can, barely comprehend. There might be more than that. But infinite amounts of light beings are surrounding Earth. That includes beings from other galaxies and other civilizations from other planets who are in a higher dimension. So they're in the fifth dimension or above, which makes them, if we experience them, we would see them as angels. We wouldn't know the difference. So they're light beings with a physical body at a higher dimension. There are demigods. There are spirits out there that are not physical but are at a higher dimension. The true angels, the true demigods that we've seen and experienced throughout history on planet Earth. Then there are the deities themselves. These are souls that have, through their spiritual practices, have gone on and live in higher dimensions, beyond the ninth, 10th, 11th. They're incredibly powerful beings. We experience them as deities. And all of these beings, including the stars and planets themselves, including the center of our galaxy, which is a very powerful being, which for all intents and purposes, you could see it as God, because as far as our galaxy is concerned, it is. That being is focused on us. The sun, which is an incredibly powerful deity in and of herself, she's focused on planet Earth. The moon, Mars, Jupiter, all of the planets, which are also deities. They're beings like us who have incarnated in these very powerful states. They are all focused on planet Earth right now. And if it were up to them, they would snap their fingers and they would bring the ascension. Unfortunately, there's something that's preventing them from being able to do that. And that these are very powerful deities that are preventing this from happening. Have you guessed who those deities are? They are human beings. Because human beings are trapped in the third dimension, and our instinct is to keep the third dimension going. But if we awaken to our true divine essence, and we drop the third dimensional struggle, and we drop the third dimensional attachments, and we go into meditation and we use our astral bodies, we then reunite with our divine omnipotent self. You may not know that when you're doing these live guided meditations. We're doing another one later on today. So if you're watching this before, if it's Friday and you're watching it before, late Friday, early Friday evening, make sure you come to that meditation. Because when you are in your astral body, and I'm guiding us all in our astral state, we are actually not human beings meditating anymore. We are powerful light beings. We are infinite deities. And when we focus our energy on planet Earth, and we focus with the intent to shift the frequency of Earth to the next level up, then reality must obey us. When we are in that state, then all of the deities, all of the gods, all of the light beings can then converge with us, because by themselves they don't have permission to shift the earth up to the next vibration. So stop waiting for them to do it. They're waiting for you. But the moment that we come together, and when we come together as a group, there's literally nothing, no power on earth that can stop us. So what is happening now, since Mars is now in his Multrikon sign, Mars is the warrior, and Mars is also in Gandanta, which means that Mars is moving from a water sign to a fire sign. What that means is that water is emotion, fire is action. So Mars is a planet of action, is the warrior that wants to destroy negativity, take action, and accomplish things. But Mars has been in Pisces, which has made him, basically boiling in water. And so how that translates to us humans is that we have been finding ourselves feeling trapped, but getting more and more frustrated, more and more angry. So the level of anger towards the elites has gotten to a boiling point. And now finally Mars is out of Pisces, which is a deep meditative emotional state, and is now in his own sign, but he's still in Gandanta, which means he's just, he's making his way out of the ocean, and he's trying to run to get on shore, but he's up in, waist high water, and he's trying to get to shore, and each step that he takes, that he feels the resistance, he's that much closer, he's getting more and more motivated, more and more angry. So that those of us humans who remember who we are, this is what's happening. We're getting to a boiling point. And when we get our feet on solid ground, we are going to take action. But we must focus that into our astral bodies. So the most important thing that you can be doing is to be doing these live guided interdimensional meditations. The light beings came to me a couple of years ago and they started, telling me about, what I was going to be doing and what we were going to be doing. And it was so unbelievably grandiose, I thought I was losing my mind. And then at one point they came to me about 6 months ago and they said, you're going to fly through the air like Superman, and the earth is going to shake before your power as you send energy. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I can't fly through the air. I'm just a human. I'm not Superman. And it was frightening to me. I didn't know, they were saying all this crazy stuff, and I didn't know what the hell they were talking about. And at one point, they came to me and they said, don't worry. When the time comes, you'll know exactly what to do. And that calmed me down a little bit, but I was still afraid. And they came back a couple more times, and when they repeat things 2 times or more, I know that I can trust what they're telling me, that I'm not making it up, that something is about to happen. So they came back a second time. They said, don't worry. When the time comes, you'll know exactly what to do. And sure enough, one day, I don't know how long ago it was, maybe 6 weeks, 2 months ago, I came to this awareness that I knew exactly what to do. And it's because we'd done these live interdimensional meditations, which was just something that I thought would be cool, and I wanted to do something to help bring the event and 5D and all that. And when I saw what was happening when we did that, I realized what they were talking about. These beings weren't talking about me physically flying through the air like Superman. They were talking about me in my astral body. And they were showing me that in my astral body, I was more powerful than anything on planet Earth. So that was true in my meditations. I found that to be true. But when we came together as a group, and I did these meditations live, guided, and people started showing up, 15, 20, 30 people. And then when people would replay it, up into the hundreds, all kinds of crazy things started happening. The sun started exploding, and the sun is not done, by the way. The solar storms that were hitting Earth were off the charts. They were, record-breaking energy, and everything on planet Earth was changing. And you saw these huge shifts in the narrative where the dark force elites are backpedaling. They're being caught in lies in ways they can't escape. They're having to admit to lies. They are, having to admit to certain lies in order to try and keep, these other lies going. And they're at odds with each other. And the whole narrative is crumbling. And people are getting more and more angry. And the sun is doing crazy things to the earth. And people are having these ascension symptoms everywhere. And more people are waking up. These people are coming to me. You're not hearing about it in the news. You're not hearing about it in social media, but it's happening privately. And people are coming to me who aren't into any of this stuff. And they're saying, you're the only person that's making any sense about any of this. Because I've been having these experiences and I've been having this awakening, and I'm not into this. I'm not into New Age. I've never been into this stuff. And I'm remembering and realizing, people are beginning to wake up. So this is what I believe. I don't need it to be true. I'm not attached to it in any way, but this is this is what I've been told by the light beings, and this is what I've been seeing. That those humans who are called to do this work that we are doing these live interdimensional meditations, working directly with light beings, coming together and sending energy to Earth. We are the beings. We are the deities that are coming to liberate planet Earth. And so we must choose that we want more than anything else, that we want 5D, whatever that means to you. You must figure out what your perfect reality is. More unbelievable. You want flying unicorns that poop out Skittles, whatever it is, being able to intend and create reality, to be in multiple places at once. to be a being that flies through the air, to be a god, to live in a, whatever your ultimate fantasy that brings you the greatest feeling of freedom and joy. That is a reality that you can create, but you must choose to do it. And you must do it in your astral body. When you're in your astral body, there are no limitations. So you remember who you are, or even if you don't have the memories of it, accept the reality that you are an infinite being of light who chose to come here. And now as an infinite being of light, you must choose to change planet Earth. Let me give you another secret. Star seeds are real. But unlike what you're hearing, that star seeds, there's only, a few of them, and then there's these lowly humans. Every single human is a star seed. The only difference is the ones who choose to awaken and the ones who choose not to awaken. The ones who choose to awaken can shift into their star seed abilities. And those who choose not to, unfortunately, will shift down to a lower version of, an even lower version of humanity that already exists. So every single person listening to me is a star seed. And the only thing you have to do is just choose it. Just choose it, accept it. You don't have to remember it yet. You don't have to understand it, but choose it and focus on that. And then we do these live guided interdimensional meditations, and we are the ones, what I was trying to get at earlier is that those of us who are here as humans, we don't remember, but we created Earth. We created the third dimension. We created this completely different reality. By the way, when you look out into the stars at night through your telescope and you think you see empty space with, there's no other beings out there, it's just a bunch of stars and empty rocks and gas, that is an illusion, because we live in this fishbowl of the third dimension, which, it's like looking into a mirror that just goes, you think you're looking off into infinity, but you're not. You're looking into a closed experimental, experiment zone. It's just a laboratory. And outside of the third dimension is the true infinity, the true being. All of the other beings live outside of that, and they're full of love, and they're full of empathy, they're full of power. They live in much higher spiritually evolved places, and you can go back to that if you choose to create it. And so that's what the 5D Ascension event is. It's all of the external events, meaning all of the energies of the cosmos, all of the planets, the sun, the moon, the stars, the central, the black hole at the center of the galaxy, what people are calling the central sun, and all of the other light beings and all of the deities. They have all gathered to flip the switch so that we can shift up. We are the ones that actually must push the lever up. If we don't do it, it won't happen. We are preventing the rest of the universe from shifting us up if we don't participate. And I'm here to tell you, these live meditations are the path. Everything everybody does, all of the positive intentions, all of the meditations, all of the spiritual work that everybody's doing, that feeds into changing the reality. But what's the last thing left between us and shifting to the fifth dimension is these live guided interdimensional meditations. I don't need to be the only one doing it. There may be people doing it all over the world in their own way. I don't know. We'll all connect later. But whether or not we are the only ones flipping the lever or other people are doing it, what I do know is that the mechanism of shifting the third dimension to what we're calling the fifth dimension is human beings going out in their astral bodies and sending their divine intention onto the planet to shift the planet up, to free the trapped people in the third dimension, to destroy the dark force elites, and to choose the reality that you want. If you do that, nothing can stop you. And now we've got, now that Mars has moved into Gandanta in Airies. Now we can let force our righteous indignation. We can let force, we can let loose the forces within us. We can go to war. And that's what I'm encouraging you to do. Not by doing anything physical. It has nothing to do with politics. It has nothing to do with standing on street corners and chanting. It has nothing to do with, doing anything in the physical. The only thing that you need to do is to take all of that anger and all of that rage and all of that desire to go to war and go into your astral body and send that energy to Earth. We are doing that. The light beings have been training me how to do this over the past 2 years. And it's not that there isn't more to learn, but we already know what to do, and we've been accomplishing it. So come on to these live guided interdimensional meditations. Go to Facebook. There's a page on there, the Path of the Thunder Wizard, just Path of the Thunder Wizard. Go on there and take all of the links that I put on and put them on your social media. Take any links you want from my YouTube channel and put them on your social media, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, wherever. But get people to these meditations, because when we get to the place, and my goal is for this channel to go viral, that when we do these live guided interdimensional meditations, that there are hundreds, thousands, millions of human beings in their astral body flying around planet Earth, sending this energy and sending that warfare energy, taking that frustration, their righteous indignation, and combining it with their light being essence and sending it to the dark forces and destroying their infrastructure, destroying their ability, and hopefully awakening them as well, because they need to be freed as well. They're beings that are trapped. They're literally possessed by what we would consider to be demons, which are nothing but huge amounts of dark emotional energy that are trapping them in their third dimensional self. And so we must go to war with them. Again, just like the Matrix, when you go and fight against a policeman, which is just another person trapped in the Matrix, they can be possessed by an agent. You have to take them out. So we're actually not harming any humans by doing this. But the idea is to have no mercy. The bottom line of that is that there are going to be people stuck in the middle who are going to go through a lot of ascension symptoms. They're going to feel anxiety, fear, all kinds of cleansing symptoms. I'm seeing it in people in my life. You're probably seeing it. You're probably experiencing it. I'm also experiencing it. But we have to have that mindset of no mercy. The time has come. The shift is coming. And as I've told you a bunch of times, hopefully I can find it here. Is it this one? Yeah. The light of the solar flash, you can see where it says 3D. That light, white light, is hitting what is called the ascension event, which is where we are now. And that is splitting up into 3 different that's not it. It is splitting up into 3 different Earths. So the frequencies are splitting up into 2D, 3D, and 5D. And by the way, the mantra that we use, what you hear in the background, the huar sound, that mantra actually creates the shift. This mantra was given to me by a light being. He was a mantis being. Mantis beings are the warriors of the universe, the righteous warriors of the universe. And he gave me this mantra. And I recorded it after chanting it. And you can hear, and people have said that it's kind of an uncomfortable sound. And one person called it jarring, and he said it was atonal or bitonal or something like that. And it's in between notes. And if I had heard that a while ago, I might have gotten offended. I didn't get offended because I said, oh, that's what's happening. What's happening is that mantra is creating this division of frequencies. And so in the beginning, when you first hear that mantra, it's a little bit jarring. But now I've come to understand that it's like an earthquake on a vibrational scale that's shifting everything up. Every time we chant that, we are creating this 3 earth split. So the more that you do that work, the more you will shift up and the more we will create it. In the meantime, we have to be prepared that for people who are fighting against the awakening, and those of people who are in the midst and they're going through a transition and they're struggling between 3D and 5D, it's going to be challenging. It's not going to be necessarily a pleasant experience. They're going to have to die to their 3rd dimensional self. So let's embrace that. Let us put on our war bonnet and let us go to war. Let us get committed. Take our righteous indignation and purify it and use it in our astral bodies to send to earth and create the shift. So I welcome you later on today. We're going to be doing it. I'll go ahead and wind this video down for today. The way that you can support me, and I need your support, otherwise I can't do this work, is to subscribe, like, comment, hit the bell button so that you're notified. Do the live interdimensional meditations as often as possible. Every time we do them, try and be there live. If not, come back a couple hours or the next day and be with each new meditation. Follow and like the Path of the Thunder Wizard on Facebook. Share Thunder Wizard YouTube video links and Facebook posts on your social media. Subscribe to the thunderwizard.com Patreon site. Look, a lot of people subscribe for free. I'm not talking about the YouTube site. It's free to subscribe on the YouTube site. Please do so. But you go here to thunderwizard.com. That website is my Patreon site. People are subscribing for free. Sometimes it's because people are they're going into the shop and purchasing the meditations and the teachings. So I appreciate that. So that's okay. But what I really need is for people to subscribe, and be, putting something in, supporting the channel every single month. If you don't want to do the Warrior 90 Day or, be part of some of the other, higher tier level subscriptions, at least subscribe at the Fan of the Thunder Wizard page level, because that, 10 or 12 bucks or whatever it is every month, if every single person that was subscribed was at least doing that, I would never have to worry about this channel going offline. As it is, because of things that aren't your problem, my financial requirements have gotten to the point where I'm 2 seconds away from doing a side hustle, taking another business on just so I can pay the rent. I don't want to do that because I want to spend all my time making these videos and continuing to give you the tools, and I want to focus on shifting up out of this. So I need your support. Go here to thunderwizard.com, subscribe at whatever level you want. For those of you who are doing these interdimensional meditations and you're having experiences, light beings are showing up in your homes, they're showing up in your meditations, they're showing up in your dreams. Some people are they'll feel, they'll be touched by something. You can feel when these beings approach. You're feeling like energy on your heart center, like it's a pressure, and then you realize it's a higher dimensional electromagnetic force. You're getting messages, you're getting telepathic messages, visions, you're starting to awaken to who you are. You think you're going crazy. Well, we have a cure for that. We have these live Zoom and discussion group classes with me. I answer questions, I share my experiences, I go into deeper understandings about what I've experienced, but more importantly, you get to share your experiences. And this is important because my experiences are going to be generally like yours, but you're going to have specific things that they've taught you, that they've showed you. And when you talk about what happens to you and other people share their specific experiences in these live Zoom discussion groups, we get to realize that we're not crazy. We create a new consensus, which is very important. We got to create a new collective unconscious consensus of the reality in order for it to shift up. So I encourage you to subscribe at the Zoom class discussion group level. There's 2 of them, those for apprentices and those for non-apprentices. You can find that at thunderwizard.com. Subscribe to that. And also go to the shop. Go to thunderwizard.com, click on shop. You'll see videos there. If you scroll down, you will see all of the energy practices, including the Huar breath, pineal gland meditation. They're varying price points. So, even if you're not rich, you can easily get, just for instance, the awakening, summoning the immortals Qigong, which you see right there, Mao Shan summoning the immortals, moving Qigong. That is very inexpensive, and that in itself will give you huge amounts of power. And so, there's something for everybody, but I really need the support. But most importantly, if you want to avoid having really negative ascension symptoms, which are guaranteed if you're a 3rd dimensional being, then you're going to need powerful spiritual energetic practices. And the practices that I share both on the shop as well as at the thunderwizard.com subscription site, those practices are the most powerful energy practices in the history of planet Earth, and some of them have been downloaded by me in the past 2 to 10 years by these higher dimensional beings. I know now why I've been training in this my whole life. It's to give you these tools so that you can shift up. You do have to prepare your nervous system, because this higher dimensional solar energy, watch what happens. There are going to be more. You think there's been a lot of intense solar energy? It hasn't even begun. It's going to get more intense. And when it does, you're going to need some practices to shift your body up. That's what all of this is. So not only are you supporting the channel, you are making sure that you are able to shift up. So check all that out. Anyway, that's it for me, guys. Thank you so much for showing up. I love you all. Please remember that you are the most important being that has ever existed. You are God. You created everything. The entire universe was created solely for your pleasure. That you are the most beautiful, the most amazing, most brilliant being, and that the only thing that you're required to do is to exist. Because just by existing, you empower all other conscious beings. And the only thing that you must do is to bring yourself the greatest joy, the greatest pleasure you possibly can. When you do that, the gods themselves get on their knees and worship you. And I worship you. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't exist. So I thank you for allowing me to exist. I thank you for creating this universe and creating me. And with that, my friends, please take very good care of yourselves. If we don't shift ourselves out of this 3rd dimensional matrix, I will see you all very soon. If you're watching this today on the 1st, show up, because in the next few hours, we're going to have a live guided interdimensional meditation, and I am going to war. And I hope that you will join me. Thank you very much. I'll see you guys very soon. Take very good care.